A modern-day traveler walks through Pompeii's ruins at dusk, long shadows creeping over the ancient stones. It was a quiet evening when Daniel Carter, an archaeologist, arrived in Pompeii. The tourists had left for the day, and the ruins were silent, almost too silent. He had come to study the ancient city, but what he found would haunt him forever. Soft wind blowing, distant whispering. As he walked past the remains of houses and temples, he couldn't shake the feeling that someone was watching him. Shadows flickered in the corners of his vision, but when he turned, there was nothing, just empty streets and statues of the dead, the ruins of Pompeii's marketplace. But as Daniel looks, it slowly transforms into its ancient, bustling past. Then, something strange happened. The air grew thick with the smell of burning incense and baked bread. The ruins around him seemed to shift. Suddenly, Pompeii was alive. Crowds filled the marketplace. Merchants shouted in Latin, and children ran through the streets. Faint echoes of market chatter, the clang of coins, laughter in the distance. Daniel stood frozen. He wasn't just imagining it, he was seeing the past. But as he tried to step forward, a woman ran toward him, her face twisted in terror. She screamed, "It's coming! The fire is coming!" before vanishing into thin air. Sudden, ghostly whisper, "Save us!" Daniel, now unsettled, stumbles into an ancient villa. The walls are covered in preserved frescoes of Roman gods, but in the flickering torchlight, the paintings seem to move. Seeking shelter, Daniel stepped into an old villa, the house of Lucius. The air inside was cold, unnaturally so. As he walked deeper into the ruins, he noticed something chilling. The ash-covered floor had footprints, fresh ones, leading to a dark corner. Slow footsteps, an eerie creaking sound. Then, he heard it, a whisper, soft at first, then rising into a desperate plea, "Help us! Help us! We burn!" A sudden, chilling gust of wind, followed by faint cries of agony. Daniel turned to run, but before he could move, a pair of ghostly hands burst from the ash, reaching for him. The ruins shake. Ghostly figures of Pompeii's victims emerge from the walls, their faces contorted in eternal agony. The air filled with the sound of screams. Shadows moved along the walls, flickering like fire, taking the forms of the thousands who had died that day. Their eyes were hollow, their mouths opened in silent cries. Daniel was trapped in their final moment, the moment of death. The distant rumbling of Vesuvius, ghostly cries overlapping. Then, the woman from before appeared again. Her eyes were blackened, her skin cracked like cooling lava. She whispered one final warning, "Run, before it happens again." Daniel stumbles out of the ruins, the ghosts fading as the sun rises, but something is left behind. Gasping for air, Daniel ran. The moment he stepped out of the ruins, the air was normal again. The marketplace was gone, the shadows had vanished, but something felt different. As he looked down at his hands, he saw them covered in ash, and he swore he could still hear faint whispers in the wind. Soft whisper, "We are burning, we are burning."